Barrows, and it starts with a steep looking climb up to Buckbarrow, and from Buckbarrow I'm going to follow the ridge up to Seatallan and then on to Haycock, and from Haycock I'm going to return across Middlefell back to Greendale. Yeah, it's only early March, so it's an early walk for the first one of the year, but well, it's fair to say weather-wise spring has been much nicer this year than last year. The only downside is that we might get some nice views from the top, but it is incredibly windy now I've got up here, so you're not going to be able to hear me describe any of them, which is probably no bad thing. Yeah, so that being said, let's get going and see what we can see. Wasdale. Gradient eased off a bit, and so is the wind. Actually briefly talk to the camera. This is a lovely stream we're walking up. This is Greendale Gill, beautiful waterfalls further down, and there were some serious whitecaps on Wasdale before, but they look to have died down as well, so hopefully the wind is going to drop significantly as the afternoon wears on. And this is Buckbarrow, 1,410 feet approximately. This is Wainwright number 11 of the northwestern fells. Wainwright Buckbarrow faces the famous screes across Westwater, and being itself a steep and stony declivity bears some resemblance, if only in miniature. From the road along its base, Buckbarrow seems to be a separate fell, but the name is reference merely to the half-mile rock escarpment. So I'm going to read over that because, frankly, this wind is doing my head already. Fabulous view from here across the South Hill and the plateau across to Seatallan. I'm just trying to make some progress now on the way to Seatallan. It's only about a mile and a quarter to is Seatallan, 2,266 feet. This is waymark number 12 of book 7, and well, that was a tough walk. It's just endless, dreary, featureless expanse of grassy nothingness across near the Wasdale Common, and the wind is quite frankly unbearable now. Wainwright says, when the organisers of a recent mountain race selected the top of Seatallan as a checkpoint, some of the contestants confessed that they had never before heard of the fell. And it's probably true to say that the name is not generally known to the walkers who have not yet based their activities on Wasdale Head. Seatallan, formerly known as Seatallan, forms a steep western wall to the quiet valley of Netherbeck for much of its length, exhibiting thereto a rocky slope from above which the summit rises in easy gradients to a graceful curve. As a viewpoint, Seatallan does not rank highly. From Haycock round to Scafell, a mountain barrier hides most of the district, only the Coniston Fells being well seen at a distance. West and south, however, there is a full and uninterrupted panorama of the coastline and the Blackcurrant hinterland. Right, I've made a decision on my endless trudge up to Seatallan summit. I'm going to cut the walk short at this point. I was going to go up to Haycock, but that's another 400 feet up, and this wind is just going to be suicidal up there today. I can, however, pick Haycock up for my next walk, so I'm going to just head back down to Greendale across Middlefell when I leave this summit. I need to have some light out, actually. It's now starting to rain. Typical. No good. Have to give in and put my hat and gloves on for a bit. At least the wind is slightly less in this shadow of this slope. But honestly, that was just insane. I think if I'd carried on high up, the Haycock would have been stupid. So I'm making the right choice. Need to find the path that leads to Middlefell now. Does seem a bit of a shame to miss out Haycock. It would have only added about another 2 miles to the journey today, but probably the sensible decision. And because I missed that, I'm now approaching Middlefell, which is right in front of me. It's ridiculous. It's so much nicer when the wind drops. Why couldn't it have just been like this all day? And I could have done the whole walk I wanted to. Never mind. Oh, quite like Middlefell so far. Got a bit of interest to it, unlike the vast bleak emptiness of Seatallan. Middlefell, 1,908 feet. It's waymark number 13 of the Northwestern Fells, and it's waymark number 194 in total. Yes, there are just 20 to go now. Well, I really like this film. It's got a lot of character on the way up, and it's got a spectacular view of the full length of Westwater when you get to the top. It's got Scafell and Scafell Pike looming at the end of Wasdale or Wastwater. A spectacular view across to the Irish Sea as well. Wainwrights says many of the lesser parts of Lakeland make up for the lack of height by an aggressive fierceness of expression that seems more appropriate to greater mountains, by an intimidating ruggedness and wildness of terrain that makes their ascent rather more formidable than their size and altitude would suggest. Middle Fell, overlooking Wastwater, comes into this category. Tier above tier of lockstyle crags, steep slopes offered by tumbled boulders, vegetation masking pitfalls and crevices. These are the features that rule out at a glance any possibility of a simple climb, either from the lakeside or from Netherbeck at its eastern base. Nor if one ventures up by Greendale Gill on the west does the scene relent, although a route here presents itself. It's only on the short side of the fell, where there's a high saddle connecting with Seatallan, that the weakness in the fell's armour becomes apparent and the climb to the cairn is comfortable. As a viewpoint for the Wasdale Fells, the summit is magnificently placed, and it is fitting that the rewards it suggests should earn but only by effort. The one thing about that description is that the route down is via Greendale Gill. Suggests it might be quite a steep descent, but the only other way back is back over Seatallan, and I'm not doing that. Stopped for a little break, and it was beautifully still, which is typical when there's only about 3/4 of a mile left of the walk to go. Anyway, been a particularly lovely second half of the walk anyway, once the wind dropped, which is basically one fell. Actually, you can see from here, that's the stream that I walked up to get to Buckbarrow earlier, and yeah, instead it was a steep old climb. You can see from here it does look particularly steep, although not as steep as the other face of Buckbarrow. Well, here I am, back in Greendale, pretty much. Only 6.5 miles rather than the 8.25 I was planning on doing. Still think it's probably sensible to cut it short, given the wind on top of Seatallan, although it is very typical that the wind dropped the second I turned back. Well, I do like to think the wind plays tricks on me at times, because the number of times it suddenly picks up when I start speaking to camera is ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, I'd say the second half of that walk was beautiful up Middle Fell. I enjoyed that thoroughly. The first bit was, well, it was a bit of a slow trek up to Buckbarrow, although annoyingly coming down, when I was coming down Middle Fell rather, the path up to Buckbarrow was clear as anything. No idea how I managed to miss it walking up, but I did. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, that trudge across to Seatallan was, I don't know, a bit soul-sapping, shall we say. The wind was just relentless. Anyway, so it's about 2 miles shorter than I was planning, but luckily I think the extra bit to pick up Haycock on the next walk will be slightly less than 2 miles, so I've not lost anything by doing that. Right, well, say, only 4 more walks to go. The end is very much in sight now. Thanks for watching today's walk. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hope you join me again next time. Until then, bye.